first woman to uncover the homo thugs. She talking about Diddy. That's what these down low bitches was called when Wendy first started talking about it in the 90s, the homo thug.
So you hear about stories of Diddy like shooting people, blowing up cars.
Yeah.
Is he this gangster that behind the scenes that is that him? Or is that
Shout out to Wendy Williams.
As a member of the Soul Koreans collective and contributor to records by well-known singers like The Roots, Jay-Z, and Eric Kadu, Jaguar Wright gained notoriety in the early 2000s. In recent years, Wright has gained notice for her accusations against high-profile artists and executives, often accusing them of unethical behavior and exploitation. Her latest scandal started with her arrest and the 30-hour detention that followed. The exact reasons for her arrest have been speculated upon, but details suggest that it involved a minor altercation or public disturbance. Despite her talent and early success, Rhee's career has been marked by controversy and outspoken criticism of her peers and the music business at large.
I'm sorry, I'm a little upset about it, because Al B. Sure just came out of his coma, and I've been talking to Al, and we've been texting back and forth, and I'm just glad that he's alive to text.
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah. But when you think about Kim, I was thinking to myself the other day, Uptown Records started with 5 people. Andre Harrell, Al B. Sure, Heavy D, and Puffy. And Kim was the longest working employee because she was there from the very beginning. She was Andre's personal assistant. Kim is dead. Heavy D is dead. Andre Harrell is dead. The only 2 left are Puffy and Al almost died. Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
Heavy D was found dead, face down in the heart attack. Andre Harrell, heart attack. Kim died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said that she died. It was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. You know, they have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms. And then right after that, Al had a meeting, and I was gonna meet up with him because we were in Vegas, and then the next thing you know, you wanna know what they all had in common though? The survivors and the late of Uptown Records, they were all writing tell-all books. Andre was writing a book right before he died. Heavy D was working on a book before he died. Kim Porter was working on a book before she died. And Al B. Sure was working on the documentary of his life. And then he goes into a coma. Has Puffy ever been in a coma? Has anything happened to him? He must be the luckiest motherfucker, because it seems like everybody that worked at Uptown Records from the very beginning is gone. Just him. I guess Al disappointed you. You know, it's...
Jaguar. Following her release, Wright didn't waste any time using social media and other platforms to talk about her experiences and share her complaints. She specifically targeted Diddy in her tirade against him, accusing him of a number of unethical practices such as manipulating and exploiting young artists and creating a toxic work environment. According to Wright, Diddy has used his position of power to control and intimidate others, making sure that his interests come before the safety of those around him.
No. Do you remember when Bernie Mac played the minister in Friday?
Yes.
That's how I feel about T.D. Jakes. Like, that's how I see, oh, Miss Parker, come to pray. But for him to be at a Diddy party, I don't know. Like, I feel the same way about that as I feel about when Tyler Perry came to his church and laid hands on him and he caught the Holy Spirit from Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry is the bishop of what? Like, I've never, like, and I cut a check for 100, and I'm gonna lay my hands on your bishop. And he said, and then the bitch said, it's on the fucking internet. He's doing all of this, right? And then there's a woman on the dais screaming, push the baby out. Birth that baby. I'm like, what? Are we a church? Or is this about to turn into like a whole nother scene, like a lost scene from Eyes Wide Shut? Like, this shit is looking a little weird. I mean, if Bishop Jakes was at a Diddy party, there could only be two reasons. Money or sex. That's all that happens at Diddy parties. Money and sex. I hope it was for money.
Charitable contribution.
I hope it was for money, because arguing about who's going to put the strap on is, that can be a very uncomfortable situation. You know, we're going to pray on it, praise the Lord. See this bullshit ass motherfucking game fucking with people that you love, that you like, you know, that you, there's too many coincidences.
Too many.
Fuck you, honeycomb.
Oh. Stamp it.
We gonna get you and your little dog too. And congratulations, young Miami. Run as fast as Cassie did. Has anybody asked themselves about that shit?
I mean, yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are asking about what's going on with it. Yeah, a lot of people are looking at it as like that's the way the new relationship should work.
What, to get paid?
Yeah,
she was getting $500K a month. She quit because he dropped her down.
Yeah, I think that's where they're at with it now.
No, but understand this. Think about this. And there are women in this room. Why would you quit? What the fuck is going on that $250,000 ain't enough?
Ladies?
Like, fuck the fact that he, I'm just saying, fuck the fact that he cut from 500 to 200. Who the fuck gives a shit? 200K, 250K, who turning down 250K a month? What the fuck is going on in that relationship that 250K ain't enough?
Could see some things.
That ain't worth 250K. That's gotta be some dark shit. Like, people are not understanding that girl quit 250K. 4 million every quarter. Well, I'm sorry, $1 million every quarter.
Shit.
Now, she was getting 2 million a quarter, but then she got, you know, fuck you got going on. That's so deep that it ain't worth $1 million a quarter.
They told a story about Cassie one time, and she was saying someone had asked her why she cut her hair, and she was like, well, Diddy said he just liked it that way. And they said when she answered the question, it was like she was in a trance. Like, she was just like, I just don't know. Diddy just said he would like my hair this way. And they was like so in awe, like how she didn't even have a thought about it. It was just what he wanted.
That's how he operates. He has people followed. He has people watched. He does all kinds of fucking, he's a fucking piece of shit.
Too much money.
I feel bad for the kids. Like, don't think that there aren't moments when I'm speaking honestly about that motherfucker that I pray that his children don't hear it. Because that's still their dad. I know what it's like to have a baby with a fucked up ass motherfucker. As much as I can't stand my ex-husband, I would never want my son to feel bad about either one of us being his parent. You know what I mean? Like, exactly. I would never want that.
One of Jaguar Wright's most serious charges against Diddy is that he exploits young artists. According to Wright, Diddy has a past of using his record label, Bad Boy Records, to take advantage of unskilled musicians Diddy has reportedly manipulated contracts, withheld royalties, and employed other strategies to keep artists under his control while making money off of their work.
Crazy year. But the reason why even right now, your old interview that you did last year is trending even crazier because you're almost like, not Nostradamus, but Nostradamus. What you have said, not only in our interview, but on your own personal lives.
Yeah. Which gets shadowed down constantly.
Yeah, things start coming to fruition to where you targeted certain people in that interview, and now you're seeing, I don't want to even say downfall, but you're seeing that target that you put on people's backs.
I'm seeing integrity show up.
Wow.
You know, the day of the raid, I got a lot of notifications. I got a lot of ads. I got a lot of mentions. I got a lot of phone calls.
When you said the day of the raid, you're talking about the raid on both Miami and California.
And New York simultaneously.
Wait, New York was?
Yeah, the New York house was raided as well.
Oh, wow. That didn't even, they didn't even really.
3 states working in tandem, and they did not tell the officers who they were raiding. They went in tactical as they were instructed to. They didn't know they was raiding Diddy's house. The higher ups didn't tell anybody because they knew, with Diddy being a Fed informant, that he had people in the force and they wanted to make sure that went through legit. So they ain't tell nobody whose houses they was going to.
That's why you see the guns.
The cops didn't know that it was Diddy's house over there in Beverly Hills around the corner from the Playboy Mansion. They didn't know until they seen the kids.
So what are your thoughts on the show of force, even not knowing?
They did their job. He's a sex worker. He's got guns and he's got semen-coated fucking VHS tapes.
Okay.
I would have went in a hazmat suit.
So let me ask you this. When you first...
Additionally, according to Wright, Day's behavior has added to a toxic environment. She describes a culture of fear and intimidation where dissent is not allowed and those who speak out are shunned or blacklisted from the industry. Day is accused of being manipulative and controlling and of using his influence to create an environment where those who work with him feel obligated to stay loyal. She asserts that his acts in the music business have set a precedent for future executives and musicians to follow, continuing a vicious cycle of mistreatment and exploitation. According to Dove's claims, Diddy's power goes much beyond his own label, having an effect on the industry as a whole and fostering an environment where inappropriate behavior is accepted.
Honeycombs is what you...
Yeah, the honeycomb. Shout out to Jamil Peterson. He's added a new one. He called him the Diddy Glover now. Because when he ain't got the Beijing and he say he look like Danny Glover.
Oh, man.
So he's AKA Diddy Glover now. Shout out to Jamil Peterson, I Am Comedy.
So I want to stay right here. We're going to stay within this pocket, but I'm just curious. What did you know that was going on in the world of Diddy, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, that the world didn't know? What did you know back then, 3-4 years ago?
Was gonna come forward.
So how'd you know? What did you know about what Cat? Because
I wish I could explain.
Yeah,
but if I explain how I knew Cassie was gonna come forward, that could hurt some people. Which is why the last time I sat on this blue couch, I said what I said. Congratulations, young Miami. Run as fast as Cassie did.
You did say that. It was a bar.
You said that shit.
Did you see something being around Cassie? Did you see anything being around?
I don't spend time around Cassie, and I haven't seen Cassie in person since she was with Ryan Leslie.
Was there something in her eyes that you saw? The way, like now
I'm
that...
gonna put it to you this way, there are mutual acquaintances between her and I. And that's as far as I can go.
Okay. I
don't talk to her, but I speak to her.
Did you get a chance to see her indictment, what she claimed happened?
Oh no, I reviewed
okay.
all the files, and everything that she said is everything that I said with Storm Monroe 3.5 years ago. Exactly what I said it was.
Were you surprised about anything that came in?
No.
Wow. So
Nobody else should have been either. Young jock. You Diddy doo-wop bop. You.
Yeah.
Because you told the truth, Jock, and then after Diddy called you, you went back and tried to clean it up. But your all about is off the Stevie J's. You Diddy doo-wop bop.
Do you feel like that's the reason why this beef, that Stevie J stands where he stands between the beef with 50 Cent and Diddy?
I don't know where Stevie J stands. I only know Stevie J sitting on a drum set or fuck. I don't know where he stand.
Man.
I know what he stand up in. And I know what done stood up in him.
However, the public's response to Barra's comments has been uneven. Despite the divergent views, some have praised her for her courage and willingness to speak up against strong people in the industry, while others have been more dubious, doubting her motives and the veracity of her charges. Wright's comments have generated a great deal of discussion and controversy, bringing attention to the problems she has brought out.
Take the ketamine and cook it up. And they fold it into the coke. Now, if you don't know what ketamine is what they call on the street Special K. It's a veterinary drug. It's a horse tranquilizer. Now, gay men have been using this for years. See, back in the day, if you went to a gay party or a gay rave, there were certain drugs that you would always find on hand. Viagra, ecstasy, Special K, and cocaine. Now see, the cocaine keep you up all night, but unfortunately, it gives you limp noodle because of what the blood flow is. So you wants to fuck with a half-hard dick all night. So that's why you had the Viagra to make sure that the dick involuntarily stays hard while you're numbing your fucking self with the coke. Now see, the ketamine, that's a horse tranquilizer. So that relaxes all your muscles. You could get fucked by 80 fucking ton gorillas. You wouldn't feel a thing. So now, your dick is gonna stay hard. You numbed up and you high. You got the ketamine in you so you don't feel shit. And then you add the ecstasy to put in the feeling that you've now blocked out. And now you got a party.
Freak off cocktail.
Yeah. So now, the 2C, they done skipped. They done skipped all the steps. They condensed it.
Wow.
So you got the cocaine in there, and then you got the ketamine in there, and they say that some of the dealers add the ecstasy in there. Now the Viagra, you still gotta take that solo.
Wright's voice has been boosted by social media in a big way. Sites like Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube have given her a platform to share her experiences in real time with a Wisconsin audience, bypassing traditional media channels and getting her a voice to voice her complaints and gather support.
You are numb. You are wired. You pop that Viagra. You a f***ing machine. You anything. You a brick wall, wouldn't even feel it.
I'm sure there's footage of that. There's footage of that.
Like real rap. Like that right there is like, that's like, cut me open right now, man. I ain't even gonna bleed. Like it's wild. Like this 2C shit. Now I see how Young Miami can take all that pressure. She on the 2C. They be thinking these is over here like killing the game. They don't feel nothing, that's why they do it. Okay?
With Diddy settling within 24 hours, which has never been heard of, 30 million, or the lawsuit was 30, undisclosed amount. But
He
within
knew for 30 days that shit was fitting to happen.
within 24
He could have paid that
hours.
30 million before.
Yeah, why? Let that hit the fan. Did he?
Because he's Diddy.
He called a bluff?
Because
He should have enough money to
He
check.
put the boots to that girl. She's supposed to be a good bitch. who she with? All the time he putting a groom in her. Of course he thought it was still gonna work. He thinks he's God.
Right.
Ain't doing shit. I raped the f out of that bitch, put the boots to her last time I seen her. Her and her trainer, boyfriend, husband. I don't get no.
So you hear about stories of Diddy like shooting people,
Yeah.
blowing up cars.
Yeah.
Is he this gangster that behind the scenes that is that him? Or is that people
Shout
around
out to Wendy Williams, the first woman to uncover the homo thugs.
Diddy has not yet officially addressed Wright's most recent accusations. In the past, he has usually opted to either remain mute or provide general declarations about his dedication to integrity and respect in the industry, coupled with his silence in the face of these accusations, have only fueled speculation and debate. Many are wondering if Diddy will face the allegations head-on or keep quiet. If true, the accusations against Diddy could have a significant impact on the music industry because they draw attention to chronic problems with power dynamics, exploitation, and unethical behavior that have long plagued the sector. If the Wright's claims find traction, they may also spur calls for reform.
I was looking at an interview from Jaguar Wright, and I want to get your opinion on it. She told a story about how she knows a lawyer that walked in on Christopher Williams giving Diddy fellatio for a demo deal. You know anything about that? You heard about that?
Bruh, I don't know how true that is. I've heard that shit, but I know Christopher Williams. And I know Christopher Williams was a crazy, gangster-ass nigga from Mount Vernon. From up in that area, Westchester. He didn't play that shit. He kept that 3.2 or that 38 on him, and he will shoot the shit out you. You understand? He was rough with his hands with the women. And the story went on and said that a lawyer walked in the office. When she walked in the office, she walked right out, and she said it was a dude, and she said it was Christopher Williams. It was one other brother, I forgot his name, that worked with Bad Boy. Him and Christopher Williams could have been brothers. And if anybody was doing that, it would have been him, not Christopher Williams. Do you understand that? Him and Christopher Williams could have been brothers. That's how close, that's how they had the same look, light skin, and little low on the side, curly hair and stuff like that. I would never believe it was Christopher Williams. You understand? But that other cat, yeah. You got to realize, when you walk into something, it's very few people, if they walk into something like that, they're going to stare there and look and just be all into the shit, right? There's very few people going to do that. When you walk in something that's very inappropriate, you're going to back up out, especially women. You understand what I'm saying? So now, if she's seen a glance, she only going to see a glance. Now, if somebody who looks like Christopher Williams, maybe. But then you got to look at it like this. Was she in the office all the time? I don't remember us having a lawyer in the office like that. Or she was just coming by that particular time, I don't know. I don't know the situation. I want to stay off that, but I know from knowing Christopher Williams, having an altercation with him before, and knowing people that know him, he's some more crazy gangster shit. And why would he, Puff it? Nah, bro. Puff wasn't that damn big back then.
In response to Wright's accusations, there have been new calls for music business reform. These calls focus on increased transparency, stronger artist protections, and accountability for those in positions of power. Examples of these changes include fair contract terms, independent oversight, and support networks for artists who might be at risk of exploitation.
Hollywood house parties in Sunset Hills. These niggas used to take shit that they would put on their lips, and then they would ask a girl if they could get a sip of her drink. And they would put the agent, they would rub it on the rim, and then when the girl would continue to drink her drink, she would inject it, and the next thing you know, the bitch numb and dead. And they got her in the tub, screwing in.
They want me to tell the total story. Okay, I'll finish it. So then what happens is they presented a bad contract and you like, I'm not signing this shit. And they like, oh, you don't want to sign it?
And then they bring out the videotape.
Hop in the tape. Let me show you what this nigga did last night. And you like, oh, shit, I'm gonna sign this right now. I don't want nobody to see that. Bow wow. Okay, moving right along.
Oh!
Moving right along.
You made my husband walk away. I don't even know what to say.
Shout out to Snoop for handling that for Bow, but they should have got.
Oh my God! You just turned. I don't even know if I'm old enough for this conversation anymore. I just became like a whole 3-year-old.
Or as many as I could get because I had to change my phone number again because they did the bomb threat and then they lied and said that I was trying to commit suicide live online with a knife and sent the police to my door. And
That's what's that you're showing? That's a
these are the police cards.
Oh wow.
Of my address that was doxed by Patrice Garner, Chatty Patty.
Wow.
For a bunch of crazy motherfuckers to come to where I live. Y'all cute.
Another one. Oh.
And another one.
Oh wow. Okay. So address out there, police looking for you.
Phone number doxed by last YouTube boyfriend. I had a YouTube girlfriend and a YouTube boyfriend. I don't know why they always send the stupid ones. I keep telling them, don't send a stupid mother to do a smart mother's job.
That's real. That's real. And this is about to be a great conversation because when you say YouTube boyfriend and girlfriends.
Yeah, YouTube has been sending me people.
Yeah, we didn't even
Ever since they had to keep my husband quiet because, once he gets arrested for blowing up the car, he's gonna have no choice but to snitch on how YouTube paid him to betray his wife and, make sure his wife went to jail so that they could poison her to death.
We're going to circle right back to that. Jeez Louise. Oh my God. So when you said the day of the raid, you're talking about the raid on both Miami and California.
And New York simultaneously.
Wait, New York was?
Yeah, the New York house was raided as well.
Oh wow, that didn't even, they didn't even really.
3 states working in tandem, and they did not tell the officers who they were raiding. They went in tactical as they were instructed to. They didn't know they was raiding Diddy's house. The higher-ups didn't tell anybody because they knew, with Diddy being a Fed informant, that he had people in the force and they wanted to make sure that went through legit. So they ain't tell nobody whose houses they was going to.
That's why you see the guns.
The cops didn't know that it was Diddy's house over there in Beverly Hills around the corner from the Playboy Mansion. They didn't know until they seen the kids.
So what are your thoughts on the show of force, even not knowing?
They did their job. He's a sex worker. He's got guns and he's got semen-coated fucking VHS tapes.
Oh. Okay.
I would have went in a hazmat suit.
So let me ask you this. When you first told us about your thoughts and you honeycombs is what you.
Yeah, the honeycomb. Shout out to Jamil Peterson. He's added a new one. He called him the Diddy Glover now. Cause when he ain't got the Beijing and he say he look like Danny Glover.
Oh man.
So he's AKA Diddy Glover now. Shout out to Jamil Peterson, I Am Comedy.
So I want to stay right here. We're gonna stay within this pocket, but I'm just curious. What did you know that was going on in the world of Diddy, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, that the world didn't know? What did you know back then, 3-4 years ago?
Cassie was gonna come forward.
So how'd you know? What'd you know about what Cat? Because
I wish I could explain.
Yeah,
but if I explain how I knew Cassie was gonna come forward, that could hurt some people. Which is why the last time I sat on this blue couch, I said what I said. Congratulations, Young Miami. run as fast as Cassie did.
You did say that. That was a bar.
You said that shit.
Did you see something being around Cassie? Did you see anything being around?
I don't spend time around Cassie, and I haven't seen Cassie in person since she was with Ryan Leslie.
Was there something in her eyes that you saw? The way, like now
I'm gonna put it to you this way: there are mutual acquaintances between her and I, and that's as far as I can go.
Okay. When you,
I don't talk to her, but I speak to her.
Did you get a chance to see her indictment? What she claimed happened?
Oh no, I reviewed all the files, and everything that she said is everything that I said with Storm Monroe 3.5 years ago. Exactly what I said it was. What did I say when y'all asked me about why was the TD Jakes at the Diddy party?
Yeah.
What'd I say? Money and sex.
That's correct. Were you surprised that there were so many cameras in his houses?
No.
That he was recording these?
Of course, he is the J. Edgar Hoover of hip hop.
Okay.
Y'all done seen him put on the pyramid with a skirt?
So let me ask you, when you hear that Cassie was told to hire male escorts to come and what they call freak-offs now.
Yeah.
Is that something normal that happens in Hollywood?
Yeah.
Freak-offs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody know that. I've been saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many times I got these is wild.
So do you feel like people, when they hear pink cocaine, Young Miami has to bring across?
Wait, the Tusi.
Yeah, the Tusi. That's what they call.
I found out. I talked to my drug guy because I wanted to be informed. Because people was calling it Tusi, that's calling it the Tunchi. I didn't know which one it was. So I talked to my drug guy, and my drug guy filled me in. And then it made perfect sense. Tusi.
Talk to him.
Drugs with Jaguar.
Let's talk.
Drugs education.
101.
So Tusi is the cocaine, but they take the ketamine and cook it up. And they fold it into the coke. Now, if you don't know what ketamine is what they call on the street Special K. It's a veterinary drug. It's a horse tranquilizer. Now, gay men have been using this for years. See, back in the day, if you went to a gay party or a gay rave, there were certain drugs that you would always find on hand. Viagra, ecstasy, Special K, and cocaine. Now see, the cocaine keep you up all night, but unfortunately, it gives you limp noodle because of what the blood flow is. So you want to fuck with a half-hard dick all night. So that's why you have the Viagra to make sure that the dick involuntarily stays hard while you're numbing your fucking self with the coke. Now see, the ketamine, that's a horse tranquilizer. So that relaxes all your muscles. You could get fucked by 80 fucking ton gorillas. You wouldn't feel a thing. So now, your dick is gonna stay hard. You numbed up and you high. You got the ketamine in you so you don't feel shit. And then you add the ecstasy to put in the feeling that you've now blocked out. And now you got a party.
Freak off cocktail.
Yeah. So now, the Tusi, they done skipped. They done skipped all the steps. They condensed it.
Wow.
So you got the cocaine in there, and then you got the ketamine in there, and they say that some of the dealers add the ecstasy in there. Now the Viagra, you still got to take that soap.
I mean, I appreciate y'all bringing me to y'all beautiful city.
Man, you looking real. That couch look real small on you, brother. I'm
6'7", 327 pounds.
Massive.
Yeah.
Man, you have a legendary story, man. You've been through a lot. You've seen a lot. And we want to get all the way into it, man. First off, though, you from that STL.
St. Louis, Missouri, born and raised.
Man, depending on what part of you talking about, you in the trenches.
North side. North
Okay.
St. Louis, and then I moved to a subdivision called Wellston. That's the place Nelly said when he got a problem, he go get his Wellston niggas. That's where I'm from, Wellston.
So, give us a little childhood memory about growing up in Wellston, you know, for anybody who ain't never been to that side.
Well, you know, I got 2 books out, bro. One book is called Gene Deal, My World of Bodyguard and a Hip Hop Star. And the second one is Gene Deal, Life After Death, When Bodyguard and a Hip Hop Star. The first book tells about my childhood. Growing up in Wellston, I met my mother at the age of 12 years old, where I moved out from St. Louis, from the north side, to the Wellston, Missouri, where my mother was at. Wellston is it's the ghetto among ghettos. There's only 6,000 people. People ain't stop at the stop sign when you went to Wellston. So if you know what that's talking about, if you came out of Wellston, you had to educate yourself, because the school district, if you came out of high school, you probably had a 6th or 7th grade education.
So let me ask you, for those that, you know, some people know your story and they see you on this couch, so they know what we're about to get into. As a curiosity, for those who don't know, your profession was a bodyguard.
Not at all.
Okay, go ahead, please.
My profession I was professionally a New York State parole officer, where I worked for 27 years. You understand? My second profession was an investigator for Elite Investigation, where I ran the investigations of housing projects in the city, Lambert Houses, Taino Towers, Eastchester Manor, some of the roughest housing projects in the city in the Bronx. My third profession, which wasn't like what you might say a bodyguard, I started what you call, with some other guys, ASAP Ferg Father, Mike Cock, myself, we started what we call the Same Gang.
Gene Deal.
The Same Gang was a group of guys who, at the time, Harlem was coming up. Instead of them having cliques and they call cliques and crews, instead of them having gangs and stuff like that, we were people that partied together, you know what I'm saying, had a lot of fun, gave picnics, and that's where you got your guy Sean Combs came in when we brought him into the Same Gang. So I was like what y'all call now an OG, because I started it, you understand? So then Puff had some problems at the place called The Building and the Red Zone. Red Zone and The Building was parties that he was doing. The Building was the unsigned hype. If you ever seen Juice and the guy was doing the turntables and stuff like that, I think it was Omar Epps or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was Omar.
Right, that was The Building. That's where they was giving the parties there, where you had leaders of the new school, Queen Latifah, different groups coming there showing their talent, Naughty by Natures and all, like they would show their talent there. So Puff was having problems there, and D Ferg, one of the leaders of the Same Gang, which is ASAP Ferg Father, said, yo, Gene, Puff need, some help, man. He need to get that money home at night and everything like that, to Kirk Burroughs and stuff like that. So why don't you go help him out? I said, I don't got no problem with that. So I put him up under my wing, so I started helping him out, by, making sure when the end of the party and stuff like that, get in the car, bring him uptown. So to answer your question, sorry about that, my profession first was, like I said, parole officer, then investigator, which it was with the housing projects and stuff like that. Then that bodyguard thing was just me looking after, people that was in our crew and clique.
So is it safe to say that you were familiar with like the music industry of some sorts before Puff came into picture?
Well, I think that I got involved with the music industry because a guy named Tim Dog. If you know, Tim Dog is not the one who had the that F. Compton thing. Tim Dog was one of the A&Rs for Uptown Records. He went on to be a president of Island Records, the president, I think he was the president of A&R over Arista Records. They was having problems at parties, because dudes in New York didn't think they could wait online. So I became that dude that got a clique together, got a crew together, and we started doing security at the front doors at all the Uptown Record parties, all the parties that Tim Dog, Butt Naked, and different people was giving. You understand? And got, whereas that people didn't try to bum rush the door no more. People didn't try to, you know, run up in the parties and, you understand? So I came famous with that.
You more like a problem solver or a problem deflector, I guess, if problems come to the door.
Well, it wasn't just me, it was my team.
Yeah, the whole team is...
The team was like, I hired 4 officers and I hired about 8 dudes that was from the streets, you understand? And one cop, and had dogs.
When you're putting together a team, what are you looking for inside of a man to like know if he's built for this?
Well, if you hang with us, you built for it, point blank. We didn't look for guys outside our crew.
So when you were at these parties and, you know, making sure things were going in certain situations, were there any younger cats that we might recognize today that would ever try to like act like they were better than or try to force their way or push their way past y'all?
That came in the later days, man. You know, that came when dudes would have like 20 or 30 guys with, you understand? But you gotta realize when you had certain people that was out there with me, you had Slick, Tima, these guys are known in the street. You know, they the godfather of some of the biggest gangsters that you heard of, Alpo, Lou Sims, you understand? They respected them. So now when I got them working and they part of the team and they running the security like that, ain't nobody gonna try nothing, bro.
So, man, let's get right to it then. To be what you were doing in your team, y'all had to have seen some evil shit, like some pretty fucked up shit coming from niggas with money, I'm assuming.
Bro, you see that from niggas who don't have money also.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you see a lot of shit. It is what it is.
So again, I have to ask you then, because sometimes when you see like, let's say a Puff, you might have a manager who might be an enabler, like to help him get to her, like an R. Kelly, whoever. And you have their bodyguards or security unit who might allow some things to take place. Might see it and just, hey, we're gonna just allow because, you know, hey, it's the essence. What was your mentality when it comes to the enablers or the people that allow, or just what, you know, how did you approach a situation that you're like, I don't know about that?
I don't know what you mean by that question. That was such a broad and asinine ass question that it's hard to answer something like that.
Let me be more direct.
Be direct, bro.
Let me be more direct.
Yeah.
Were you an enabler, or did you allow or see stuff that you're like, man, I ain't gonna jump in that?
Bro,
go ahead.
Criminals do crimes with criminals. I've never been a criminal. You understand what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So now, if you're looking to answer something about Puff, Puff ain't the Puff. Puff had different phases of his life that y'all don't understand. And let's get down to the nitty gritty of it. You understand? First you got Puff Daddy, who had Daddy's house and the parties and things like that. Then you had Puff. You understand? Then you had Diddy. Then you had Brother Love, and then Love. I had Puff around the stage when he was Puff Daddy and Puff and some of Diddy. Not the new Diddy that they gave the Diddler and everything like that. So he ain't the guy, he wasn't the guy that y'all see now back then when he was in Harlem. You understand? He was the guy that our crew chased down the street because he was trying to be a part of it and he ran. You understand? We brought him back, beat the shit out of him, hit him in the head with cake spoon, with champagne and all the other shit. He was wanted to be a part of us. He was the one used to beg, don't go to the party, please, please, I'm on my way. I'm on my way, so he could walk in the club with us. You understand? So to answer that question, bro, you're not doing nothing that's gonna cost my livelihood. You understand? You're not gonna do anything in front of me to cost my livelihood. You understand? Now, have I seen some shit? I seen a dude come up in the club and blow somebody's head off. I see the smoke running through the crowd trying to get to the lights. You understand? At a New Year's Eve party. So now I see this guy laying on the ground with his head tore down to the white meat. Did I know who did it? No. Did somebody tell me it's about to happen? Yes, they did. Yo, Gene, somebody got a gun in here. No, they didn't. We searched everybody. He came through the back door of the kitchen. You understand?
Yeah.
Because it was a restaurant that was giving a party. Yeah. The guy came through the back. I run and turn on the light. And as soon as I hit the light switch, you see, pow, and the gun smoke. Dude ran. That's the kind of crazy shit we see. You see girls having sex in the bathroom. That's crazy shit. You grab them with the guys and you throw them out the club. You understand?
Yeah.
So
it gets like that.
Right.
I have to ask real quick. Diddy's pops. I saw you. There was you had mentioned that as far as Diddy's pops, his dad was murdered.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that I didn't know. Did you know of his pops?
I didn't know of his pop. I ain't know jack shit about his pops. I learned from his pops from one of the biggest gangsters in Harlem, New York Freddie. Right? The police said they went to New York Freddie house in Mount Vernon, and he had stacks of $100 bills 6 feet high in the whole basement. That's how much money he had. He was the one who started Russell Simmons. They won't tell y'all this story. He was the one who started Russell Simmons and them into the music business because he had a record label first that Russell Simmons used to work for. So now, New York Freddie want to talk to Big Gene. One of his lieutenants back in the day, if you see his story, his name was Omar. Omar was our OG from 112th Street, 114th Street. They used to come around with us. They used to love the food I used to cook because I'm a hell of a cook. You know what I'm saying? So now, Omar said, yo, New York Freddie want to talk to you, Gene. I told him he used to bodyguard Puff because he want to talk to Puff and tell Puff the real story about his father. So I said, yeah, all right. So I'm like, New York Freddie. I knew my history. I knew what New York Freddie was about. So I went and took a meeting with New York Freddie. New York Freddie said to me, he said, yo, man, I've been trying to get in touch with Puff. Russell Simmons, none of them would take my calls. It's all good. He said, I want to tell Puff the true story about his father. And I said, yo, all right, okay, you know, what's up? You're gonna listen to those guys. You understand? So New York Freddie said, Puff father sold some drugs to one of their undercover guys. You understand? They arrested him. But they had cops on the payroll to, you know, see what you about.
Yeah, you got to give her respect for that, man. But what you think about the diss record that King Combs came out with, where he was coming at 50 and coming at everybody, coming at his dad? Like, how you feel about that record?
Well, first, I want to say to this young man, before somebody take his head off, because see, that's that new school bull crap that these kids out here, they easy to fly out their mouth with that. You don't invite a man to your private. You don't invite a man to your private unless you doing the Diddy. If two men lay down, how many homos get up? Let me tell you, young man, 2 of them. You understand? So don't invite a man to your private because that man will see you and take your head off. Especially somebody like 50. You don't send or let a boy do a man's job. I don't know if he need that type of attention or he want that type of attention. Evidently he do. But 50 is the wrong dude that you want to do that type of attention, get that kind of attention from, bro. In the infamous words of Waka Flocka, that nigga go hard in the paint. And I don't believe that this cat would even put out some trash like that and really didn't know what he was doing. He's teasing the federal government. And I told y'all, the Southern District of New York do not play. So King Kong just put another battery in their back. And you see after he did that shit, something get leaked to the press. Do you notice that, right? Soon as he did that dumb shit, talking about, well, we did this and we did that. We had this over here. Y'all went to the wrong house. Some went to, he said, well, we're going to show you how wrong we are. Yo, CNN, run this. Action, roll them. Don't play with the feds, bro. Because you got to realize this. They got a lot of time. All they got is time. Yo, they gonna sit there, people sitting up there and they want something. See, people like a fix. They need that fix real quick. They want them to hurry up and charge Diddy with something or see what they got on him. The feds gonna take their time. May take 6 months, may take a year, may take 2 years. They got up to 3 years to bring their case up. They got 3 years. So they checking everything about them. They gonna dot all the I's and cross all the T's.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people feel like he played a part in that video coming up. You know, him making a comment saying that, you know, they forgot to raid the house next door that his dad owned. Yeah, man, he was wilding up.
Yeah, I think he was just bullshitting. I don't believe he bought the house next door. Because let me just tell you something. If anything or any name that had to do with Bad Boy, the federal government gonna run that. They know all the properties Diddy have. They wasn't even talking about the raid that they did in New York, but they did a raid in New York too.
Yeah, I ain't hear about that raid. I only heard about the, you know, the LA and Miami raid. But you feel like the feds, they released that video over King Kong's comments.
My man, I've worked in law enforcement for 27 years, and I had the opportunity to see HIDA. It's a place, whereas they have the state, the feds, the NYPD, the Department of Corrections, and the state police. Yo, this place could be half of a basketball court. That's where they just got lines of computers with officers of all different people and officers just on the internet. Whoever's over that case, whoever's working that case, don't you know they saw that and took it to their boss? You might think it's petty, but it's not. You do not agitate a lion with a pork chop. And that's what that kid did, bro.
Some people feel like, you know, Diddy, he played a part in that video coming out too. You know, him being spotted with Stevie J, smiling at the camera. You know, a lot of people blame him too.
But bro, what did I tell you? He's such a narcissist that he has to be in the public. Yo, listen to me. They just caught him on TMZ today or yesterday or something like that, walking out and about. Now, I'm not telling the man what to do, what he couldn't do. I don't know if the government told he couldn't travel nowhere, he couldn't be nowhere and stuff like that. But why are you gonna go outside your own compound where you know TMZ and every other place is waiting on you? You're not gonna get any public sympathy. That's why he had that picture of him and his father around his neck. You're not gonna get no sympathy.
Gene Deal, happy to have you back on the platform, my man.
How did I know you was gonna call me, Mighty? It didn't take a rocket scientist. I was figuring when I seen that this morning, that and I don't know if you know what I'm talking about yet, but when I seen that Diddy stuff from CNN, I said, I know Art gonna call me. Art of Dialogue gonna give me a call.
Oh, you already know I was about to hit you, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So with that being said, man, let's get right into it, man. What you think about the video that came out today of Diddy pitting his hands on Cassie?
Man, you know that was crazy. And I know people gonna think that, you know, yo, this is all what Gene wanted to see. But now, listen here, man. The devil got a purpose, God got a plan. Do you understand what I'm saying? The devil got his purpose, but God got a plan. You understand? And it's all in God's plan, man. You understand? To let people see, because a lot of people wasn't believing that this stuff even existed, brother. A lot of people didn't even think that Cassie was telling lies, Gene been telling lies, Lil Rob been telling lies, everybody lying on Diddy. But Diddy told the truth. Diddy's the only one told the truth. He said, y'all, just keep watching. The truth will soon come out. And you see what came out? My man, he punching that little girl in the head. Yo, you don't even kick a dog, man. You don't even kick a dog, bro. He kicking that little girl like she's a dog, man. It was crazy, man. Any man that has a sister, any man that has a friend that's a girl, any man that has a child, you understand, who saw that, if they wasn't appalled, if they wasn't like, yo, I want to beat the, you know what I'm saying? We can't say that on television, man, or on the internet or YouTube, but any man who saw that, wish they could put their hands on Diddy at that time, bro. That shit was appalling, bro. It was crazy, man. And when I saw it, I could imagine what Kim went through. I could imagine what Misa went through. You understand? It was just crazy, man, for that dude to do that to that girl like that, man.
I can't believe what I seen, man. I still can't believe what I seen in that video, man. Like the way he was kicking her was like he was kicking a field goal, man.
Bruh, when I saw him run down first of all, when I saw the white towel, I got flashbacks of him and Jaru running out the room. Of course, they had, what's her name, Sarah and the other girl in there, but I had that flashback. And then when I seen him run down the hallway, I had flashbacks when the same gang was chasing him. I was like, what the hell? And then when he put his hands on it, no jokes aside, because I know it's not no laughing matter, man. The shit just was appalling, brother. And I don't even know how they could even play that on television, on YouTube like that, and without even putting up some sensitive, you know how they put the sensitive subject matter up? That was crazy, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, man, I can't believe it, man. I mean, because like I said, I mean, me and you've been doing interviews for years and you've been telling me stories about Diddy, but to actually see the visual.
You know, so like, bruh, I wouldn't have never allowed him to do no shit like that around me. That's why he probably never did nothing like that. You understand? When I got the aftermath, when they told me to go over to St. Luke's Hospital, because Puff was over there in the hospital, that was the aftermath. You understand? When Kim cut his wrist up with that corkscrew, his right wrist. They got pictures on the internet with his wrist banded up. Kim did that. You understand? The aftermath of them being in the Swiss hotel and he roughing her up and like he playing fight with her, and then she runs out the presidential suite and we got the big room in there at the Swiss hotel, and then I'll be like, yo, you all right? And she like, yeah, I'm all right. It ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? You good? She like, yeah, good. And then she go back in the room with Puff, Diddy, Brother Love, whatever he call his name is. So, you know, it's always the aftermath or something like that, bro. But in front of you, only people who commit crimes around people who commit crimes. You know, Puff know who to do that stuff around. And that was crazy, man. When I looked at that thing, to be honest, I thought that the people who was watching it, because you know at those hotels, they have security personnel that watch that stuff. And if they didn't call the police, they should be in jail. I don't care what nobody say. You know, whoever watched that tape and didn't submit that to the authorities, they should be brought up on charges.
Why do you think the video is barely coming out right now? Because you got a lot of people, you know, that's wondering why it took so long.
First of all, they know that Puff probably paid the security personnel because he knew it was on camera. When he made it to the hallway, when she made it to that phone, once that phone picked up, that's going straight to security. That's for emergency purposes only. So either the concierge or somebody that's handling emergency type situations when she picked up that phone. So now, Puff probably had somebody pay them off. He had somebody pay them off, bruh. And then now Homeland Security is involved. I told you, everybody talking about, yo, they ain't got nothing on him. His dumbass son come out, make this whole tape, you understand, about what they ain't got or man, listen to me. Homeland Security looked at Cassie information. They interviewed her. Yo, when was the time he hit you? He hit you before? Yeah, we was at the hotel. He blacked my eye. They went through a whole lawsuit. Oh, he blacked my eye. We at the hotel. It was on this day, about this time. They said, okay, we gonna contact and see if the footage. Now they gotta keep that stuff in the archive. They have to have that security footage in the archive somewhere. So then what the Homeland Security say, yo, listen to me, on this day, this way, because just for accidents, like just say you fell down the steps at the hotel. They got cameras in the hallway. They got cameras in the stairway. So they can see that. So now, you didn't fall down the steps, but you say you did at a certain time. They go through that whole footage. So they have to keep that in some kind of archive. Now, she told them what date and by what time it happened. They contact the security personnel and the people who have that stuff in archive and say, yo, listen to me. We're going to subpoena that. We want that information. And they sent it to them because they don't want to lose their insurance. They don't want to lose their insurance. The things that they insure the hotel, you know, so they don't want to lose that stuff. So listen, what they do, they hand it over to them. There's going to be a lot of stuff handed over. Why do you think they got all the tax returns and everything on all 18 other companies that he was doing business with? I told y'all, the Southern District of New York, they not into losing nothing. A 98.2 percentage in conviction rates. They not losing nothing. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry about that.
What was your reaction when you first seen that video, man?
I was sick as a stomach, man. I was sick in the stomach, man, because you know, when you have daughters, you just hope somebody don't send you to jail like that. Because any real man know if somebody put their hands on their kids like that, you know, kicking them like a dog. My first reaction was, man, there's probably a lot of other women that had that same problem with old boy. Remember Gina that got on that show, Tasha K show? And she said that, yo, he kicked me. He was punching me in my head and the side of my head. Do you imagine what she went through and she was pregnant, bruh? Come on, man. I had flashbacks of when they told me when he beat Misa so bad that he was kicking her, she had to go hide up under a car. It's crazy, bro.
Do you think Diddy can come back from this? Because a lot of people saying it's over for him.
Oh, it is over for him. Come back to where? To be in the entertainment business? Listen to me, man. And I don't want to bring this guy's story up because it's old. And I know he's trying to live past it, but I'm going to bring it up anyway. Ray Rice his wife spit in his face, and he did what he did on that elevator. He ain't played one football game after that. Nowhere that I know of. He may have went overseas and played or something like that. I don't know that to be true. But he didn't play in the NFL, a hell of a running back. He ain't played not one down in the NFL after that. No endorsements. Nobody's going to have anything to do with old boy. And when they come out with this other stuff, he gonna come back to work. I wouldn't be surprised if he do the ultimate sin, is suicide. Because bruh, he's such a narcissistic that he couldn't stand not being somewhere and not being seen. His whole life, his whole career was about him being seen in the public. It was about him, taking everybody else's dreams and making them his. And now, him nor his kids would profit from anything from Bad Boy or Sean Puffy Combs again. His kids is gonna suffer behind this.
Wow, man, that's crazy to hear, man. And you knowing Diddy, you think it's a good chance he might take his life?
He was talking about taking his life at the City College thing. Yo, D-Ferg, ASAP Ferg's father, say, yo, man, we gotta watch him, man. This nigga talking about killing himself. I say, so let him. If you're that weak, I said, let him. And he said, Eugene, why you say that? I said, man, listen to me, man. He ain't no good to nobody if he talking about hurting himself. His life don't belong to him. His life belong to God. What he should be trying to do right now is work his way towards God now, for real, and not that devil he been worshiping. That those people got him believing, you understand, that's the true God. Because everything from what I know, since I've been around him, everything that's gone forward has been that of the devil.